A profound roar shatters the stillness of the landscape. That single sound serves as the formal declaration of the commencement of the chase. The prey is oblivious to the presence in the wind. The true hunt always begins in silence. A low silhouette advances on the illuminated plain. The approach is silent, closing the distance with flawless stealth. The field goes from 0 to 100 now. The silent warning works. The ground is shaking with speed. The precise instant for the strike has arrived. The concealed menace emerges from the blinding light. The leopard forfeits its camouflage for the raw power of the chase. The impala breaks cover toward the light. The impala's evasive maneuvers are precise and sudden, but the pursuing shadow accelerates with a relentless and superior intensity. Only the impala's resolve compromises. The leopard's velocity is a machine, perfectly steady, without a single variance. A minute misstep seals the fatal outcome. Under the open sky, the momentum shifts irrevocably toward the hunter. A single point of contact initiates the catastrophic breakdown. The delicate equilibrium is destroyed upon the sunlit ground. The conclusion is whispered, not roared. The harsh sunlight reveals the end of the chase. The threat recedes into the light. The savanna inhales. The bright air dissolves every single footprint. The ground holds no memory of the chase. The warthog is focused on the earth. The danger is at its blind spot. The hunter feels the cost. The easy win is a trap. The predator's pause is an acknowledgement. This will not be a swift victory. The initial approach suggests a simple conclusion, but this warthog is far from being a common prize. The attack is launched from a void of sound and sight, but the warthog's reflex is a flash of lightning. The hunter does not afford recklessness. The warthog's weapons guarantee instant death. The adversary's retribution is never heralded. A hairline crack in concentration guarantees a catastrophic outcome. The charge of the honed blades cuts through the air. Faced with imminent threat, the predator is compelled to withdraw. The adversary's vulnerable side is the axis of the entire conflict. Both combatants relentlessly target that single exposed point. A solitary lapse in equilibrium seals the fate of the engagement. The established order of the hunt is immediately overthrown. The foe presented a solitary, fatal error. The predator capitalizes on the moment with instant, brutal speed. The final moment arrives in a shroud of sheer powerlessness. Upon the sunlit earth, the violent pursuit achieves its muted conclusion. The danger was absolute. The tension held until the final breath. Even in stillness, vigilance must not lapse. These sentinels perceive the smallest disruption first. The Leopard closes the distance like a fleeting shade. His clandestine movement leaves no tremor in the atmosphere. The true hunt began long before this moment. What you see is not the war, but the pause. A faint tremor has been registered by their senses, but the adversary's true form has yet to be revealed. Upon the absolute cessation of all sound, the assault is initiated. The hunter's intricate plan is deployed flawlessly. A violent burst shatters the stillness of the ground. The shade rushes toward the illumination with absolute resolve. At the moment of this grand, sky-shattering impact, the fragile stability of nature is utterly undone. A solitary member has been cut off from the safety of the flock. From this instant, the destiny of that small life is irrevocably altered. The deadly leap was perfect. The victim is held. Amidst the debris of the brief, brutal chaos, all motion ceases. The fierce engagement has found its final conclusion upon the earth. Every second is invested to further steel the resolve. The predator remains impervious to all external duress. All events transpired within a fraction of a second. It left no residual proof of its occurrence. This adversary is hardly a conventional target. A flawed strategy will instantly invite catastrophe. The Leopard now seeks the chance for a clean disengagement. The goal has changed from conquest to safe withdrawal. To breach the perimeter of this massive herd guarantees ruin. The collective danger still shadows the lone individual. The instant visual contact is made, the favorable chance mutates into a lethal peril. The adversary's initial movement carries an existential threat, not a mere caution. The instantaneous action is the totality of the danger. The thunder of the buffalo's hooves reverberates across the ground. The subsequent assault will escalate in both speed and lethality. He uses the ground to win a moment, but time is running out at this range. Appearances deceive. Judgment must be withheld. The velocity of this colossal mass is truly startling. Beware the momentary lapse. It becomes the deadly snare. The predator is made to comprehend this brutal lesson through pain. A frontal engagement guarantees defeat. The imperative response is to gain immediate separation. An unexpected critical aperture is revealed. This single passage is granted for a brief, fleeting instant. Against all odds, the breath remains. That alone is the only perfect ending. A young impala is paralyzed by sheer terror. The leopard stalks, an invisible presence in the lethal quiet. He rests in the tranquil posture of an apex predator. But today, that stillness signifies defense, not the initiation of the chase. The instinct to flee was overridden by the paralysis of fear. In the final moment, the fawn's legs refused to carry it to safety. The predator makes subtle contact with a single claw. In that space, only paralyzing dread and utter quietude prevail. The predator assumes a tranquil, resting posture, but the fawn is utterly immobilized by a deeper internal dread. The mother's love is a rush of despair. The heart moves. The body must halt. The air vibrates with unstated critical tension. This profound quietude holds the three lives in absolute suspension. The leopard finally vacates the scene of the confrontation. The young fawn is liberated from terror, its body restored to motion. Beneath the fading twilight, the leopard proceeds with muted intention. His cautious gait marks the end of a protracted day. As he begins his ascent, every ambient sound ceases. He scales the trunk with a hushed stealth, absorbing into the night. At the apex of the highest limb, the predator pauses, drawing a deep breath. From this vantage point, every motion of the wild is scrutinized at once. This quietude is hardly a luxury of repose. In the hunter's ethos, pure observation is the paramount right of survival.